Hello and welcome to the DM's Book Club, a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons & Dragons, sometimes, and how we can include it and improve it for all of our storytelling and role-playing games. With me, brand new guest to the DM's Book Club studio, but long-time friend, and honestly, I'm one of their biggest fans, is the wonderful Tay. Hello, Tay. How are you?
Hello. I am so excited to be here.
Because it's good to have you as well. For those people who don't know Tay, how did you get into TTRPGs, just as a quick sort of warm-up thing? How did you get into this incredible world?
I was tricked.
Ah.
And, okay, maybe not. There are two answers. Mm-hmm. Both are true. Mm-hmm. The first answer is that when I was 9 years old, I was a forum role player. Which is cutie. So... I know.
Such a cute...
On the early web, I guess. Not really early web, but like in the late 90s, people, if you can believe it, there was forum role playing on free websites. It was the Wild West. Mm-hmm, and then I took a minute and a friend was like, would you play D&D on a podcast? And all of this sounded incredibly weird to me because I hadn't ever heard a D&D podcast, and I was like, what a strange thing. No one will listen to this. Sure. And that was 6 years ago.
And you're still here. You're still doing podcasting. You're still doing TTRPGs as a result. What a great sort of like, yeah, sure. I've never heard of this before. I'll do it. Seems like
that was an absolute like yes into the darkness, and then it became like a full-time thing. Like we're still playing the same thing. So 6 years later, big ups to Dan, because I would probably not be here otherwise, or maybe I would. Who knows? The universe is strange.
It's small, yeah, as well.
It's small and weird, and we think we know everything that there is to know about it, and yet, but. Yeah. Still kicking, still playing, have eaten my way through a lot more systems than I had at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to be here because this is where every system comes to be ripped apart. Just kidding.
Well, you say that. We'll see how it goes with that topic. Yeah, who knows? So, yeah, do you have a particular favourite system? I know you said that you started off, like, obviously you've done your sort of forum roleplay stuff and then D&D, but obviously I know I've seen you on so many different actual plays. Obviously, we've done some actual plays as well. Do you have a particular system that you prefer, or even a genre that you like playing? Because I know you've played so many different characters and so many different genres, but is there something where you're like, this is what I like?
Actually, I think there finally is.
What?
I think it's not maybe like the most exciting answer, but I think I have fallen in love with Mörk Borg.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it's because it's super variable. It's easy to like get into. It's not like there's not a whole lot of structure on top of it. So it's not like, okay, you know, like sometimes you play a game and it's very like, okay, well, this is the context and this is how we exist within the context, and everything that we do kind of harkens back to that. But Mörk Borg is sort of like, and I think because of how I've experienced it, there are so many supplements, and the community has been absolutely welcomed into taking it and absolutely going wherever they want to go with it, which is not always the case.
Yeah.
And because of that, it made my entry into Mörk Borg so much more interesting and rich than I think it would have been if that wasn't the setup. And so, like, you've played Mörk Borg, but then there's Pirate Borg, and then you can go and play, like, Cyborg. You can play, oh no, there's a supplement about being a corpo, and there's, anything that you want. Like, Hamilton has made like 50 of these by now.
He's got Demon Slayer. I played with you on stage at MCM.
We played that one in real life.
In real life, yeah.
Which is a big deal for me on my little island.
Yeah. Because I remember when Hamilton put together Theatre Macabre, that's the first one with you, Stuart and Chloe. And it's just, it's beautiful because you all dressed up for it, and Will as well. And it looks fantastic. And it really got the vibes of Mörk Borg, but without being necessarily Mörk Borg in my head. And I think you've had a very privileged, in a sense of like an amazing experience getting into this, because not many people get to do that. And that's what I really love about it.
I have definitely had a good run with Mörk Borg, so I do love it with my heart. It's just like, And the first, like the original thing, what a vibe. Like, and I know that this is controversial. Not everybody is a fan of the look and the, you know, aesthetic, the theme that it's wrapped in, you know, for different reasons. The big penultimate one is that I often hear is that it's hard to read.
Yes.
Which, like, no argument. But as a graphic designer at heart, I love it. It's so, like, type heavy. And I, in such a, like, artistic way. And the art is, they went so far into black metal with all these really cool web tools. They've got, like, generators that you can use. And it was just, like... We have a lot of things like that in tabletop games. Like D&D traditionally kind of inspired a lot of those types of things from itself, but Morkborg kind of goes directly in a way that is so updated. I love it. I was crazy for it when it came out, and it's so the stuff that it's spawned, like the zines and the. I don't know. I went crazy for it. Morkborg is my current like sweetheart.
That's so sweet.
And it feels so easy to just go and be like, I'm gonna make a supplement myself.
Right.
In fact, the actual problem is that when you think you've come up with a supplement, you look around and you find out, oh wait, someone has kind of done this.
At least 3 other ones. Yeah, absolutely.
Which has happened to me. I was like boiling one up and then I was like, dang it. Wait, this is out there already. Never mind.
No,
so
not true.
It is definitely like there is so much traction in it, and for like a smaller game system, that is so hard.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely love Morkborg, and I don't know. I am a partial to my own system, Orbital Refuse, that I play with the Backwater Bastards, just because I would pick improvisational storytelling over a game if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Like if I could only have one. I am more in love with the act of sitting with a group of people and then building verbally than I am necessarily attached to mechanics.
Right. Yeah.
A fun mechanic is exciting. And I will give that to Pathfinder for Savage Worlds for the exploding dice and the feats. I loved how that worked. I really enjoyed. That was one of the hardest systems I ever played.
I was going to say, I was like, Pathfinder, I was like,
it's really crunchy. It's really
very crunchy. Yeah.
But I was really lucky to play it with somebody who knew it inside and out, which saved a lot of, like, brain work on my part and kind of helped us not play it incorrectly, which, as you know, is often how you first play a thing.
Unfortunately, that's how we go. And it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you, obviously, a lot of your stuff, certainly as you said with Orbital Refuse and the Backwater Bastards, it is very improv heavy. You are very rules like mechanics. Yourself, do you have an improv background at all? I can't remember if we talked about this or not, because I know you've enjoyed doing a bit of improv.
I didn't before I started playing. Because we were so bad at playing D&D, our game, I know. Hey everyone, surprise, newsflash, we were super bad at it. And we were so, maybe not all of us, I'm speaking for like a group of people at this point.
Sure.
A lot of us were bad at it.
Yes.
Like 1 or 2 of us were pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and the rest of us just kind of like survived. And we homebrewed to the point where it was like not even a game. And we kind of eventually went, this is holding us back. Let's make something up.
That's our own thing.
But after like starting doing this, I got into improv in a structured way. Cause I mean, like, what is improv, right? Like there's the verb of improv in life. And then there's like the structured thing that you learn.
The art form, yeah.
Improv the like universe of existing systems. And I started doing that online. And then I started trying to do it here where I live in Iceland, which was hard because my Icelandic will probably never be good enough to like improv in.
Yes, unfortunately.
So I improv in English, and it was definitely, I've only gotten to do it, I've only taken 1 class in like person. But I took like 4 or 5 online and I really liked it, but it is like massively different.
Yes.
Depending on like who's teaching, what the context is, what the like educational wrapper that is, you know, surrounding the course. You know, because everybody's got like okay, we do this type.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, fair enough, whatever.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I think I've had some really bad improv experiences.
Yeah, a lot of people, when you say improv, there's no such thing as bad improv. And I'm like, yes, there is.
Yeah, no, it's out there.
It's out there.
And you should probably have that experience. It's like how people say, like, you can have a bad therapist. You have to keep trying it until you get a good one. Yeah. And, like, I'm not going to say I definitely understand that. However, I can imagine that it's, like, bad improv.
Yes.
Because, like, I remember taking an online class that was devastating. And it was just like, this is torture. Like, what are we doing? And then I took that in-person class, and it was so brilliant that I was just like, okay, wait, it's all right. I'm glad I didn't quit.
Yes.
Like, because it's so much fun, and it's so cool. I think, like, I repeat things that I was taught in that class in different contexts all the time. And it was so good for, like, just communicating, and to the point where I tried to get them to come and do a class at my office. Ooh. And everyone was like, please don't.
Oh, no. Oh, come on.
Like, people were begging me. They were like, Taylor, don't make us do this. And I'm like, it's so good. And because the thing is like, everybody thinks that it's about being funny.
Yes.
And it's 100%. Not.
It so isn't.
It's not about being funny. Anybody can come. You come to the thing. You aren't thinking about what's my bit or what joke am I going to make. You are there to struggle in front of other people. And that is hilarious. And that is the ultimate equalizer. It's like you're just trying to do this task and it's hard.
Yeah.
And that is going to be so funny for everybody else. And when I learned that, I feel like that helped me like think about humor.
Yeah.
In a way that made it easy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And constantly humbles me. Like, it constantly reminds me, like, hey, like, cool it.
It's so true, because I think certainly with a lot of your characters I've seen in actual plays as well, like, you've got a whole range of said characters, but equally it's not like you get told something that's incorrect, they say, in the world, that you've done something wrong, but your character just takes it and goes, okay, and you still have that point of view and stuff like that. And people sometimes really struggle with that, sort of like trying to justify it, but you've said something but then it's not right and stuff like that. And again, that whole worried about getting things wrong. And it's interesting, I spoke to a game designer recently who one of her roles or duties or whatever is a stand-up comedian, and she says she can't imagine how scary it is to do improv. But I was just like, stand-up comedy.
Stand-up is so much
hard.
Scarier.
Yeah.
You have to have like a tight five. Are you kidding me? You have to remember what you're up there to do, and it has to be fast enough to be good.
And she was saying that she'd played D&D with other stand-ups, and she said that was the worst experience ever, because everyone was mugging the spotlight. And again, in the sense of like, everyone was really nice about it, but it's so true. Like, I can't imagine ever playing a game such as For the Queen, which we'll get onto, with people who aren't who are stand-ups, but actually are more role players and improvisers who are willing to share that story. Because there's something about stand-up where it's like, well, you've written a thing, it's very individualistic and you're all going to perform. Whereas improv, like you said, there are people who are much better at it than others, but we're all equalizers. We're all trying to get to the end, and we don't know what's going to happen. And you're like, well, that happened. That was wild. And you're like, hooray for everyone, you know?
And that's the magic of improv, I think, is that it isn't like it fits squarely into the comedy box, sure, with all of those other things. But it is not just comedy. It is massive, systemic, communicative, like, collaboration. If you are only there to hit a joke and, get that moment, like, you're not yes-anding, you're not being a partner. And improv only works if you're a partner. And that's also what tabletop games are in a different vein. It's like improv and tabletop games are absolutely meant to be together because they are they have the same goals. You're here to be a partner, and like, that's the move. You're going to be funny or you're going to be poignant, whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you just try to live through the thing that's happening to you, and that's improv, it's tabletop games. Come on. Why would you not pair these things?
Absolutely.
But I guess I could see it being terrifying if you've not done it before, because I think like it matters who you're with.
Yeah.
Which is something I can say about improv and tabletop games.
So with all that, what are we looking at today, Taylor, for our book club? What is our topic of choice?
We are looking at For the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is a storytelling game originally out by Alex Roberts, published by Evil Hat, but currently the second edition out with Darrington Press, most famous for like Critical Role stuff such as Candle Obscura and also now Daggerheart. And I think I suggested this to you as, again, it's a storytelling game where essentially you are all telling a story as members of this queen's entourage, and you have basically you are making up and almost world building this story as this queen, whoever it is that you've chosen to go from one place to another, and at the end you make this ultimate choice whether you defend her or not from some sort of attack. And that is it. What were your thoughts, Taylor, when I presented you with this?
I gotta stop you right there, because what you just did was phenomenal context. And it is what I lacked probably the whole time that I was trying to look into this, because
bless you.
I've never played this.
No.
And I have never watched it either. So I kind of came into this, I was like, sounds cool. And then I just had a context that I assigned to it in my mind, like, well, there's probably a book and there's a queen. Okay, fair enough. You know, and I went looking for it because I wanted to read the book. And I'm like, okay, that's what you do, right? You get into a new system, you read the book, and I was like, all right, where is it at? And I did find a lot of this historical kind of internet imprint of like, somebody else did this, and now these people have done it, and I'm looking for it, and I'm like, what is it? Which one do I read? How do I get that? Where do I buy it? Like, and I, you know, as a person who stores a lot of stuff on drive-thru, I was like, I could get it there, probably, I guess. And I did.
Yes.
Did it. Yep. But it took me a minute because I didn't know it was a card game.
Yeah.
And that was pretty key. And even after I figured out it was a card game, I still was like, okay, but where's the book? Or like, where do I read the rules? Like, there has to be rules, right? There has to be some kind of structure. It's a card game, but like, you know, and that took me a minute as well.
It is interesting because, I feel bad because I kind of didn't say to you, oh, it's fine, because I do have a physical copy, and I only looked at it, I'll be honest, yesterday when you sent through the things, because I kind of knew that the rules, each sort of, I think out of the 14 cards, the 17 rule cards, and they just, it's one sentence out that you would basically, as a way, this is kind of almost like a GM-less game, that you're all going around, you're all taking part in this, so you would all read the rules aloud one by one. But yeah, that is 17 cards out of I think 60 cards as a question, stuff like that, and that's a big chunk out of it, which, as you said, could have easily been a pamphlet or a note or a small booklet that you hand around rather than the cards. I think the cards obviously are in keeping with the whole thing,
and I don't hate it. Like, after, you know, I went into this completely I didn't know what I was getting into, and I kind of found answers to a lot of my questions as I went, but I bought the Roll20 module, which is very beautiful, and I will be playing it.
Good.
It's very cool. I am a lo-fi Roll20 user, so most of my stuff in Roll20 looks like crap.
Yes.
And so when I plugged this thing in, I was like, holy cow, you can have nice stuff like this in Roll20. Incredible. And I say that knowing that at least 4 people in the world have built some beautiful maps for me in Roll20. And thank you, but it was too beautiful for me to actually remember that it could happen in Roll20. I just went, that was probably in Foundry or something. But because of how I received and experienced the thing that you buy in Roll20, the module, I got to the rule cards like later. And so I'm digging through this thing, like where, how, I'm looking at I'm reading patch notes for like
that's the UX designer in you. Yeah.
That was the first thing they give you. So like you go down through the list and I'm like, okay, well there's probably something in the book, like, and I'm just digging through all this other stuff. Like, they give you a lot of stuff about how to use the module technically first. And, like, I've never actually opened Roll20 as a non-player before, so I was already like, what is all this magical stuff? Like, Glob bless the GMs. Thank you for what you do. Oh my god. I'm looking through this, I'm like, what is all this? And what is that? And why do I have this? And oh, look at all this extra stuff. And when I finally figured out where the rules were, I was like, oh, okay, this is context.
Yes, absolutely.
And I kind of like, they're on the cards because they want everybody at the table to read one,
Excellent.
right?
Yeah.
Which I like, because that's kind of like a bit of a, you know, like elementary teacher listening game. Right? Like,
yes,
the minute I read that, I was like, this is a little bit of a trap to make you, like, really pay attention to the rules.
Engaging. It's, oh, I'm number 3. Okay.
Exactly. I'm going to have to read the 5th paragraph, so I better, like, study it. So I kind of loved that, and it does give you, like, I like angrily was writing down my little notes, and I was like, what is the context of this game? Like, what does it mean? Who is your queen, and do you defend her? Like, I kind of imagined that this whole game was going to be like a combat adventure.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I imagined an escort quest. Like, we have this queen, and, like, we are protecting her from something. And, like, this is gonna be, like, massive intrigue. We're super, like, whatever, on board with this. I'm picturing the combat taking up the majority of the game.
Interesting.
And that being, like, the focus of play is, like, probably doing something for the queen, getting her somewhere. And so when I realized in the rules that that's the thing that ends the game, I was like, what? What do you mean? Because I hadn't seen anything else. I read the rules and I was like, okay, so I know how this works, but what do you mean the last, like, I will never fight anyone in this game? And I mean, there are no points.
Nope.
You can't win.
Nope.
There are no dice.
Nope.
There's no math. You know, if you play this in real life, like, all you have is one deck of cards. Meanwhile, like, I'm in the Roll20 with, like, patch notes, and I'm, like, going through all this. I'm like, the answer's gotta be here. Like, I bought it, so they must be expecting me to run it, and I'm trying to figure out, like, am I the GM? No. And, like, the rules that was it. That was all I had. And I'm, like, looking through these like, all these queens, and I'm like, who are they? What is this?
Yeah.
Like, and first of all, did you look at them?
They are gorgeous, aren't they? All the different.
Did you pick one?
I do have one. That's my favorite. I'll go pick her out. Well, if I find her. Because, so I think, was it 17, I want to say off the top of my head, or 13, 14 different cards, because in my one I think
there's DLC as well, so it's like the queens never stop coming.
Yes, absolutely. For me, we've got ones on the front and back as well on my cards.
Oh, see, I saw that. I watched a YouTube later, and I saw people flipping the queen cards over to reveal other queens, and I was immediately I did not like that, because I was like, what do you mean, like, they're just doubled? Like, but I mean, it's probably more eco-friendly, you know, and there is no other information with the queens.
Yeah, I think this one's my favorite. I'll show it to you and I'll describe it. It's Q15 on the card, which is it's like a little. It looks like a statue, but with the face sort of taken off, and it's a skull. See if I can find, because it's one of these cards is actually all the credits. Again, this is what I do like about the physical version, and I'm sure it's in the BTT as well. Is that all the illustrators, they have their own card at the end where it tells you which queen is which, and also tells you which one it is. So that was Q15. The Undead Queen. Oh, amazing. Karina Pavlova, I think is their name. Weird Undead is their artist handle. And yeah, I just really like that. And yeah, I think because you could tell so many different ones, like that Birthday Queen one right at the beginning is very like cutesy, pink, very fluffy, as it were. And then you got all sorts. You got like a one that's almost like modern, which is like a lady in a purple suit.
The CEO Queen.
CEO Queen, absolutely. So it was nice that, because obviously for me, for the Queen, I was like, okay, so you are fantasy, right? It must be fantasy. And there's so many of these that are weird fantasy or modern day or sci-fi. There's a couple of like cyber queens at the end as well. Yeah, what about you? Did you have a particular favorite queen or queens?
I overthought this.
Excellent.
Because I was looking through them and I was like, I have to pick a queen that feels nice. Because I went back and forth through the cards for so long.
Oh, bless you.
And I was like, I feel like I had so many assumptions. And like I read the rule cards and they kind of, the only real context outside of actual, you can use this and you can use this, is that like your land is in turmoil and the queen is gonna go on a business trip, diplomacy hashtag, and she has chosen you, the people at the table, to like be the guard because she knows that you love her.
Yeah.
And that threw me off because what an interesting rule that is. Like that has its own card. It must be important because I have nothing. I just know this. There are only really like 4 cards of actual game context.
Yes.
And so like I see this card that says she chose you because she knows that you love her. And I was like, well, I can't pick one of these scary queens because that looks like a problem. Like there's like a vengeful queen or something, and there's like a dead, there's like, and as as an admirer of art, I'm looking through these and I'm like, ooh, Shadow Queen, ooh, Queen of the Dead, I'm looking at all these, and then I'm like, whoa, but is she gonna be nice to me in real life? Like,
but I love her.
I love her. It's important that I love her, and so I'm looking through this trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah,
because that's what I do every time I play a game. Is who am I?
Yeah, who are you in this space? Because I think that was the key thing. Is that obviously you don't have, like you said, there's no character sheet, no anything like that. But you are building not only the world as you're doing these story prompts, but also your own character and who you are, not only to the Queen but to the other people in the entourage. And I was like, I feel like we need maybe a few examples of what that could be. Are you an advisor? Are you their version of the jester that comes with you? Are you the chef? Are you this? Give some examples just so then you can go, okay, I love her.
Archetype.
The archetypes, absolutely. I love her because she pays my wages and I'll do anything,
And that's the thing is I love both. Every time I thought, I wish I had this, I immediately punished myself in my mind because I was like, Taylor, is that very improv of you? No, it isn't. Like, don't box yourself in. And on one hand, I was like, it would be cool if there was any moment in this game for me to think about who I might be. Because I love, and I've played short games.
Yes.
I love a short one-shot that all the rules fit on a note card, Grant Howitt, bam. I love that stuff, but I still always have this moment where I get to pick like a silly, like ridiculous name to container myself. And obviously this is not a stat-based game, so like I don't need the 3 silly stats. But like, what happens if you're playing with a group that's never played a game like this? Like, could it not be a companion thing that's like, hey, you're the retinue.
Yeah.
What's your name? Like, Dialect does this really well, where they kind of start you and they're like, you can play any context that you want, but here are some that we created, and they are all across the map. Like, are you trying to do like a dystopian sci-fi thing? Okay, that could look like this. Yours can look however you want, but here's kind of a container, and it starts you off so quickly. Granted, longer game, and the short version of this is meant to last 30 minutes, which is like...
I think that's wild, though. Like,
it is kind of wild, but I kind of love that it's possible.
That's true.
And it kind of checked me. Every time I thought, oh, what? That can't be true. I kind of thought, well, what is this? Like, it's a card game. And it made me think of Love Letter.
Yes.
Because Love Letter is kind of like this in that it's like, it's a card game. It fits in a bag. When you dump it out, you can play this in between on your lunch break with like a group of people who don't know it.
Yeah.
And there's very few things that can happen. And guess what? You don't get a character. You're just trying to win the princess.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And it's fine. This is a little different, right? Because there are no mechanics and you don't get to like collect tokens or whatever. It is truly an improv game.
Yes.
Like, so on one hand, I love that they give you the ability to just absolutely make up whatever you want. But as a facilitator of things, I can appreciate the occasional tool. Like, and I know on DM's Book Club, you guys talk about better backstories.
We literally had an episode on it. Yeah.
The whole time I read through this game, all I could think about was like, I'd love it if I had like a better backstories card that had like 3 questions on it. That's like, what's your name? Why do you know the queen? And some of this stuff is in the like game deck of questions.
Right.
So like maybe you never get that card. Somebody might. And maybe you never get it. And I guess you could have a house rule that is like anybody can answer a question if you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's so wide open that it's like, what's stopping you? Like, you know, but I just wish maybe I love customization, and I say that knowing that I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot by saying, let's box it in then and put rules on it. But I wish that there was a moment that prompted me to think about myself.
I absolutely agree, and I'm a big fan, like you said, of having some suggestions of settings. Like I said, Dialect has it. The other game I think of that always has those things. You know, Fiasco. So it's the same system, but like you just go, and here's some ideas, and you know, there's so sort of rules like. But I want to touch on a point that you made was like, if you're playing this with people who've never role played before, but obviously we've come into this, you know, I'm going to play a role playing game, and obviously RPGs is synonymous with D&D. So then you go, okay, I'm going to ask you questions. I just feel like, again, it's that nervousness, that fear of getting it wrong, because you're like,
it's the nerves,
right?
It's the nerves that I'm thinking about when I say that.
Yeah,
because I really don't, and like I've been doing this all the time for years, and so whatever. Like, I can jump in as me. I can jump in as some BS that I've invented in my mind. But, like, I really don't think you can underestimate how powerful somebody's nerves can be, even with people that they know.
Oh, 100%.
And it doesn't take a lot to kind of tamp that down with just one piece of structure that says, hey, if you need the help, here's a jumping off point.
Yeah.
This is a resource that has nothing to do with the like structure of your game. It's not going to add 5 minutes to your 30. It's just it's a piece of this branch that you can pull out if you're like, I would like the support of getting to a place where I can interact in a way that will be fun in a group.
Because it's all card based. There isn't a booklet of play examples of an example of what a round of play would look like, either with people doing long answers or short answers or whatever, or even maybe, again, because the big thing here, and it doesn't, I don't know if it says this out loud in the instructions, is that you should be listening to what has come before and yes-anding that and being collaborative. Because if someone's come up with a really cool thing for the Queen and then you get a question and then nope, whatever that is. I mean, maybe that's a comment of like the unreliable narrator, right? That could be like, oh, your character didn't see that or whatever. But I feel like we're all basically building this world. You have to actively listen to what's going on and go, okay, that's a cool idea. And if the idea is not what you expected, unfortunately, they've already gone before you. So you have to, again, like in improv, go, yes, and then be able to justify it a little bit rather than going like, unless obviously it's something with the X card, for example, if you go, no, let's remove that element. Otherwise, a lot of improv, you can't do that, unfortunately. You can't be like, oh, that was a rubbish idea. Here's mine. Like, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, somebody comes on first and goes, we're underwater. And you're like, great. Okay.
Yeah, well,
I guess we are.
Yes. Yeah,
and now we're not underwater because I hate it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
But that's such a good point. I didn't think of that, but I watched, because after I read through everything.
Yeah, you watched a few actual plays. I've never seen any actual plays of this, so yeah.
Yeah, I had to, because I was like, I want to know if this looks like how I think it looks.
Hmm.
And that's the thing. Like, I think it's fair to say I am seasoned. I have played a lot of stuff, and I wasn't 100% sure what it would look like. And that's because I've played with a billion people.
Yeah.
And so I know how much that can change the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are certain people that I know, if I played this, I know exactly what it would look like.
Right.
And then there are experiences that I've been in where I'm like, because I play with people I don't know all the time. And every time you do that, it's kind of a grab bag. It's like, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
How will this unfold? And it's not always how you think. And so I kind of wanted to see how other people played this.
Yeah.
And I watched a really good one. And it showed me that even though this is not a GM forward game, having a GM gave a lot of context, kind of like how you introduce the game. The way that small containering in the beginning immediately helped me understand this is what we're doing. And then, like, I watched this actual play, and like I watched Chaotic Neutral.
Yes. Yeah.
Who I've never seen before, but the GM came on and explained the game. And explained like what we would see the table doing. And it was such a good explainer that I felt like the whole time that I'd spent reading this, I was like, oh. And it wasn't like that different from what I expected. So it's not like I was like, oh, wait, really? But it was kind of like, God, look at how quickly they summed it up. And it took me a lot longer to get there on my own, like never having like no temperature for this at all. And then watching their table play it, obviously like a more improvisational bent than maybe, I think like this is the eternal conversation about performative games versus home games, right? Like, are there voices? Like, are people really immersively interacting with each other? You know, how's the banter? Like, what are the rules? Am I allowed to talk while you're talking? Are you comfortable with that? If I interrupt you to, like, create natural sounding conversation at the end of your sentence, like, are you going to stall because that freaked you out? Or are you used to that?
Yeah.
Like, and obviously these are people that play together, so there was maybe like an understanding of like what the tone of this table would be.
Right.
And that looks easy to cultivate when you watch it. But if it's people you don't know or people who have never played like this together, it takes a minute.
Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, because looking through these question cards, obviously they're prompted towards you, the player. So like, for example, if I just bring one out at random, it says, the Queen trusts you, but no one else in the royal court does. Why? And in my thought, that is like, oh well, I answer that as a monologue, but then I assume, and maybe you can tell me from that actual play or is that you could role play it out with other people in scenes and stuff like that. But nowhere, all it says in the rules, I was just having a quick look, it says, interpret the card and answer it how you wish. But then I'd like another line saying like, you could have small scenes or you could just answer it as a monologue. Like, because I assume that everyone would just speak a monologue and don't necessarily interact with another person.
Right.
Necessarily.
Exactly.
That's what I assume, but I don't know if that's the case in the actual plays at all.
And if you are not a group that does scenes, like, would you know to do that? Would it feel like something that's available? I say that knowing that it sounds very handholdy, like, of course people will creatively figure things out and play games and it's all about discovery. I get it.
Yeah.
But my day job is to handhold like crazy. I'm a user experience designer. And all I think about is, does this make sense? like, what are people thinking when they are here? What are people thinking when they interact with this? Is it different from what I expected? Like, are we designing to their needs? Are we solving a real problem? Do they have what they need to get through this? Do they feel supported? Are they okay? Do they get where they need to go? And it's a game. So, you know, there can be some, like, gray area there. And that's fun. But it's not fun to just, like, blatantly struggle and then watch somebody play a game on the internet and go, damn, they really nailed it. We didn't feel that good when we played it.
Right.
And I kind of wonder, sometimes it doesn't take much to kind of help give that. And you see this in game books so often when people are like, have that page where they're like, how might you get a bit closer to the performance games that you have seen? Because that's the reality that games live in now. Whether that's right or not, people are watching professional people play games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how much of the world is looking at tabletop games because they saw it somewhere really big first?
Right. Yeah. And having the marketing for it.
And then you try it and you're like, ooh, that felt bad.
Oh, we're not voice actors. We're not paid professional role players. Yeah, I think like is that sort of thing where, like, I know you said it in your notes about like the mechanic of like if you were passing or skipping a turn or something like that, and maybe that's because you drew a card that you can't think of a way to answer. But then I would be like, I'll read it out and then I'll ask the players, what do we think together as a group? You know, rather than just like,
interesting.
It's like, rather than it being on me. And equally, like, there was, you know, obviously there's X cards and stuff like that, but then it just kind of was like, why would you ever pass? Because, you know, if you've got a group of like, it's up to 6 players, right? If you're number 3 and you got to wait all the time to get round back to you, maybe you don't get a turn because then suddenly you get the queen under attack card. So in case I've not explained it, so like you would make this deck and have this final card put somewhere in the deck and you don't know when it's going to come. And then once that question comes out, the person answers it. And that's the end of the game. And it's like,
if you picked the short deck, like, because they tell you, they're like, if you want to play the 30-minute game, put the card in the middle. And with 6 people, which the box says you can play with 6 people, like, you might only get 1 to 2 turns.
Yeah. There's 60 questions cards, and then that one, it's going to be really short,
depending on how long the monologuing gets.
Absolutely, yeah. But so it seems to me like I would never pass. I would definitely be like, I'm going to take a different card, perhaps. But like, you know, have a do-over at least once. But again, it's just a way of like, you know, I think if you're really struggling with stuff, then you should be open to the table, because it does also ask as well, like when you answer the card that the other players ask you questions or make suggestions, it's like, right, well then make that for all the stuff as well.
But this just proves your point, because I would never have thought, I can't answer this card, but maybe I can pose it conversationally to the table. That would not have occurred to me. And like the group I watched, they were immediately conversational with the cards, which was very fun. Because, you know, when you watch stuff like this, it's like, like in my case, I was watching because I really wanted to see the game. But a lot of the times it's only fun to watch because people are having a good time together.
Right. Yeah.
And like sometimes you start a game and there's like this kind of unspoken formality, even amongst friends. Like there's like a silence where it's like, okay, we're setting the game up. And now we're going to read the rules, or one person is going to suffer through the rules while the rest of us drink our beers and wait.
It's the awkward reading the board game instructions at the top of the thing because you've not looked at them beforehand, and everyone has to endure it.
And then they're going to try to explain it to us while we all kind of don't get it, and then eventually everyone gets frustrated and we go, we'll just play
it
and learn as we play, and then not play it right. Which is like, okay, another reason why it's good to keep the rules really short. Quick start, right? Like, and they do.
Yeah.
Like, they say on the thing, they're like, hey, we're gonna get you into the game in minutes, and they did. I mean, and I was alone. I was like, okay, well, obviously this is what I do because I picked the queen, birthday queen, by the way.
Naturally, yeah.
You know, let's be real. But C queen, also seemed very kind. And I don't know if this is like work trauma bleeding through, but I was like, I immediately need to pick a very cool boss.
Oh, yeah, very true.
Because I leafed through the cards very quickly, and I was like, I cannot have a mean boss. Not here. I have to have a nice boss. I will pick Birthday Queen. She looks pretty safe. Let's go.
I will defend her. Yes, absolutely.
I will defend the Birthday Queen, dang it. At the risk of being maximalist, I would not hate to see some small additions just to like make an incredible experience easier to attain off the bat. Like when you think about Quick Start, it's like, yeah, Quick Start getting me into the game. But this is like the endless conversation about friction. People are like, an experience must be frictionless. Okay, fine. Sure. Like, I get that. It makes sense. And I spend, every day trying to do those things. But like, some friction is good.
Yeah. You have that tension.
And that's the thing, we're like swinging too far into that zone of like no friction ever. Like we need to slide down the gullet of life like Jello. And it's like, yeah, but like texture. Like I miss a little texture. And there are pieces of texture that I would think for me, and this could be absolutely not the case for someone else, would make this a little bit more exciting to me. Like a moment for me to kind of think, like, literally 60 seconds to think about who I am. And maybe like a couple seconds to think about my queen before I start the game. Because I get that, you're building as you play, which by the way, is something I love.
Yeah.
And it's a thing I like to do in long form games. So I appreciate the heck out of that. And I kind of like kicked myself while I was thinking this last night. I was like, Taylor, you're like a hypocrite. But I did kind of miss like the contextual framing of like, here you are. You're so-and-so. You're Darby the horse boy, and this is your queen, and like I think this is like the better backstories moment for me is like, and that seems very in the spirit of the game. Yeah, like you're answering these questions. The game is answering questions, which I really want to play it now because I feel like, oh god, this truly is easy.
I think that's what it is, and it's easy. I wondered myself because I was looking through these questions, and you're right. I feel like it's like you get suddenly a question that's like, for example, the queen once had you punished, what memory of that will stay with you forever? And you're like, okay, that's a dark one. It could be a dark one. And maybe
I read that and I was like, the birthday
queen? Yeah, exactly.
Dang it.
So again, I wonder if there's like loads of solo games where you use tarot cards and stuff, but it'll say like, hey, some of these cards have content warnings on them. If you don't want them in the game, take them out beforehand. And I wonder if this had, because none of these
interesting.
None of these have numbers on it, these 60 question cards. I wonder if you would take out, if it's like, if you want to have
Mine also don't.
I wonder if you have a more positive view, you take out certain cards, perhaps. Because I guess the whole point of this ultimately is like whether or not you trust your queen, even if you love her, at the end to betray her. That's the kind of the vibe, right? And so it's moral ambiguity, that sort of grey things. But I wonder if like maybe you want to predetermine, like actually, we all want to succeed, but we want to build a story anyway, and we want to defend her. So let's take out these cards in which,
This just made me realize how sensitive I was when I was reading through the cards, and I was like, ooh, that card made me feel bad. Like, I read one and I was like, oh, right. It reminded me instantly that no matter how I felt, like, I specifically picked out a queen that I thought, like, it'll feel good to serve under this person because they seem kind.
Yeah. And then you get something like that.
Obviously a me problem. And then I read the questions and I was like, it reminded me instantly, like, this is a queen and I am not. Like, I am part of the retinue. I'm here to work.
Yeah.
And the queen, but then I have to give them like a couple little snaps because they got me with that rule card where they were like, she chose you because she knows that you love her. And then I started to find the shady cards because I couldn't understand, like, the tagline of the game is, very clear. It's, who is your queen and do you defend her? And I thought, yeah, probably Like, what do you mean? Yes, like, is that, I kind of thought, like, it's a bit facetious. It's just them saying, like, this is what the game's about. You have a queen, and your job is to protect her, and we're probably going to fight the whole game.
You get a question like this, for example, where it says, when was the last time the queen criticized you, and why have her words stayed with you? The birthday queen criticizing me? Oh, that sucks. Like, I don't like that. Yeah, I agree. I think,
I guess you could do, like, the, unhelpful narrator again, and you could say, well, she's never done that. And then everybody else around the table is like, definitely not true, Horace. She hates your pink outfits. Like, and she talks about it constantly. And it's just like, oh my God.
I like that. I think that's quite fun.
And I guess, like, when you don't have a huge amount of structure, this could happen. But will it happen every time like this? Like, can you expect? And that's the only reason that I gripe, is because I don't know that you can guarantee a rich experience every time. And I have to admit, and this is probably not, like, viable, good opinionating, but, like, I was so bored. Like, I was reading through this and I was like, damn, like, this is it. I was looking for more for the whole time. I was like, this can't be. And of course I had to keep reminding myself, I'm like, Taylor, it's a 30-minute game. Like, you can't have that much more and get through it with a group of people. This is it. But then, like, I watched the actual play and I was like, no. It can be so fun.
It can be, with the right group of people.
But, like, I would only play this with, like, very specific people.
Yeah, I can't imagine playing this at a con, for example, or with
I say that, but then, like, I'll probably be in a situation one day where I will. So,
but I think, yeah. But it goes back to, like, what you're saying about the actual players. Like, clearly those people have played together a couple of times and, like, are willing to do a big speech as a character or something like that. I do wonder if they were, going ahead with this game, would they do more DLC so that because obviously it's a replayable game, ultimately.
Yes.
We'll get more questions in. But I will say, I do think the ending is just like, you answer this one person answers this question, or maybe you encourage the group as a group to answer it, and then that's kind of it.
That was so surprising to me.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, what was it like? Was it like that on that actual Plex? Again, I've not seen it, so...
I mean, that's the end. Yes, that's the win. There's no real win condition. It's just that, like, at some point, and I guess the shock here is like, okay, well, we don't know when we're going to hit that card. And my opinion could change throughout the course of the game because of the stuff that I engineer, because of the questions that are, because I guess the truth of this is, like, and maybe this is why it's good that you don't generate a character, because you don't know yourself until you know yourself. And I have to agree with that, because it's how I like to play. Like, I'm not a big backstory person. I like to play my way into a story and, like, build my own backstory as I'm going, because I kind of learn who I want to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you allow yourself to develop and change over time as well.
But, like, I was shocked by that. I was like, oh my God, yeah, okay. The question comes out, and I might say no.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the game.
I wonder if I would allow people to do, like, a little epilogue of what happens to their characters, perhaps. But I guess the whole point is that it starts in media res. You're already on the journey. We
play so many tabletop games, Fiona. That's what this is. Like, I have to keep, like, talking myself back, because I'm like, that's not what you're doing. And I kept bringing my brain. I kept, like, mentally pulling out Love Letter and going, stop it. This is like Love Letter. It's not, like, mechanically at all, but
it's a one and done.
Yeah, and I kept going, this is Love Letter. It's okay that it's that. It's okay that it's like this. You're asking for so much. Like, but now that, like, I'm thinking about it, and now that I, like, fully understand and am, like, I'm sitting with the truth of it being a deck. as a person who, like, honestly hasn't played a ton of these types of card-based games.
Right.
Like, like, what is your primary experience with card-based games? Like, I think about it and I'm like, well, in Savage Worlds, sometimes you play with a deck of regular cards. Some games make you use a tarot deck. Like, other games, you know, there's not a whole lot of games that I've played with a deck other than games that are like party games, you know?
Right.
Like Cards Against Humanity or something. And I couldn't help but think, like, the monetizer in me is like, wouldn't it be cool if you had a couple blank question cards and it was like, make your own? Or like,
that would be good. Yeah.
Because
I like that.
this seems like it would be so much fun with house rules.
I think it's a good place to start off from. And speaking of other games, like I said, I mentioned Alice is Missing with its own VTT.
Yeah.
Like, another game I played recently, which is very, I would say, similar to For the Queen, because in the sense of like it's very rules light, maybe a couple more improv things, is The Zone, which is kind of inspired by.
I've not played that.
It's inspired by Annihilation, and literally you go in towards the zone, and only one person is alive at the end of it. But it's through, like, literally you'll get a prompt and like, oh, something happens. What do you do? And it is more gauged towards the scenes, that you have scenes with someone.
Okay.
I would recommend checking out the VTT.
I'm already looking it up.
Yeah, I know. I can hear you. The VTT for it is completely free, and you could do it as a solo mode, so you can look it through and check it out. And I think it has one of the better accessible things. I only say this because I've only played with it recently, and I didn't really look up the rules beforehand. I played it online, and it was just so easy as a result.
It has shiny cards.
And it's got, the physical version has shiny cards, but the online version has some really cool...
like I can't resist a foil or a holographic.
I'm sorry, you're spending so much money on DM's book club already. You've got a...
I know. I really, I love a foil trading card. What can I say? It's the Pokemon inside me that's...
Tay, I guess my final sort of question to you then, obviously you said that you're considering playing it and stuff like that. Is there any, obviously, other than like having the context of what was happening, perhaps, is there any advice you'd give to someone who is thinking about playing it or anything like that off the top of your dome, as someone I appreciate who hasn't played it, but you've read it through and you've done a lot of research on it now? Yes,
I think I'm absolutely going to play this. I mean, I'm super excited about it, actually. Yeah. I know I'm a little complainer, but I think it's a cool idea. There is no mechanic, and that is interesting and new to me. Because I've played improv games with, like, you know, no deck. And those also very often have very little mechanic to them, right? Like, maybe there's like a container or a singular rule or a context, and then you go. And we have that singular context. It's that there's a queen, we're the group, we answer the questions, and then we decide. Like, and that is pretty open, which can be scary. And as I've proved, I will never be too seasoned to not be like, wow, where's this? And what if I want that? And, you know, why isn't this like a 5-year campaign? But, you know, I think, like, if you are going to play this, you should know it's a card game. Just know it. It's okay. Don't look for a book. It isn't there. You do not need it. It's okay. If you use better backstories and you want to spice this up, bring, like, literally 1 to 3 cards with you.
Agreed.
You don't need any more than that.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many cool house rules that you could spin on this if you are comfortable. Things like just knowing that, like, you're going to talk together, that anybody can answer a card, that you're going to, like, throw in your own cards, change the theme, do whatever you want. Like, give the queen some lore up front if you want to. Like, give yourselves some lore if you want to. Do voices, don't do voices, whatever. Like, I think watch an actual play of it if you're hosting, because there is nothing spicier than hosting a game and then, like, not being so in the know of what shape it can take. Because everyone is looking to you no matter what. And, like, you have to kind of be ready to be comfortable. I really, like, I don't know about whoever you are listening. Maybe you are, like, less of a basket case than me, but I hate not knowing everything. I like to know as much as I possibly can about where we're going. And, like, I am a workshop facilitator.
Yeah.
When we go in, you better believe I know where we are, and I know what we're gonna do. And if you feel like you're hanging, it's because I wanted you to. Like, I like to know where we are, and it's okay to discover that in a group if you are aware of who those people are. It can be very exciting.
Yes.
But sometimes it isn't. And if you're playing a 30-minute game, you probably have an expectation, and that might feel weird.
That's true.
Watch a video of this thing. It explained the premise to me a lot quicker than the Roll20. And if you buy the Roll20, like, just like reserve your judgments until you've clicked everything twice.
That's fair.
And I will say, Taylor tip, use the like game board before you try to navigate the side nav. Because I stayed in the side nav, and it opens up these windows, and like you can't move between them, and you have to close each one on its own, and it's kind of a pain. But if you use the game table, like, it's very tactile.
Yeah.
You can lay out the cards, and I did that with a couple of the ones that I wanted to reference again, like the rules.
Cute. Yeah.
I pulled the 4 rules that I wanted out, and I like put them down in the corner so I could look at them. And like, if you were the one hosting game night, I'd maybe want to do that.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You can put your queen up there, like, do what you want. You want 3 queens? Apparently it doesn't matter. So pick out the 4 that you like. That's what I did. I was like, we live in a matriarchy. There's a triumvirate. Like, you know, apparently 3 of them might be shady, but this one, the birthday queen, she can do no wrong. Like, it is what it is. You have an X card. It is a safety tool. Like, remember that, and just figure out what that means for your table, and maybe tell people about it. Just explain it.
Yeah.
Because if you aren't, you know, chronically online as a tabletopper, maybe you've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing that I wouldn't have known about if I existed outside of this space. Like, you know, and, you know, out here on my island, I can only buy this the online way. This doesn't exist here in its deck form. And if you bought the deck, the game immediately seems way easier.
I think that's a big thing I find is that Roll20 VCT.
When I saw a picture of it, I was like, oh,
that makes more sense, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, honestly.
Tate, thank you so much for coming and enduring and also enjoying a little bit of For the Queen. We'll definitely have you back on because I know you're super hyped about Dialect, a game that we both have. Both of us have physical copies. But where can people find you? What stuff do you have going on in terms of projects? And where can we find all the good stuff online?
Where can I be found? Well, on the internet.
Yeah.
I am at my name on all of the things. Tay Funbiljon. TayVanBiljon. And my primary thing has been and shall always be Backwater Bastards, the world's greatest best friend story in space. And
nice.
Yep. And you'll definitely want to tune in because guess what? We're coming back off of our hiatus. Boy, we really took some liberties with that one. We took our first break in 6 years, which might have been overdue because that's nuts to do something for 6 years without a real break. We do take Christmases off, but it doesn't count. It's only a couple minutes. We play game nights, but we took a big stankin' hiatus and like went outside and touched grass, which was super scary for some of us, but good for at least 2. And it's gonna be interesting.
I'm excited.
Some people that you know may be in it.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I mean, it's like a rumor that I heard.
It's a rumor that you heard, yeah.
It's a rumor that I heard, and like, you know, I spread a lot of false advertising, but you know, that could be real. And if that hasn't kind of tipped you off to what I'm talking about, people who are listening, then I don't know what could, but you should definitely hear that. It's coming after like 14 years of sound design. That's how much Dan does. And that should be pretty interesting. But I've been doing this hiatus very seriously, so I really haven't been doing anything much at all. Just we've been doing that, and of course, like I'm always dabbling a little bit with Hamilton and Fiona.
Yeah.
That's been my like vacation, is like just doing Hamilton and Fiona projects.
Yes, I'm glad we are a holiday project.
These are calm and exciting things that are not very much work. They're only fun.
Yeah, nice.
So like, honestly, yeah, that's it. I'm not really doing anything. Of course, like there's 4 billion old actual plays floating around the internet from various points in the spectrum of my ability. So good luck if you catch an old one, dang. But I'm easing back in and thinking about, like, this is gonna get really existential really quickly, but like, as all creative people do, like, what do I want to make right now? And I've had some thoughts. So, you know, stick around if you want to know about that. Bye.
Oh, thank you so much, Tay. I'm so excited to get you on, because I love chatting to you about game design stuff, and yeah, we'll get you back on for Dialect for sure.
Yes.
Yes. Until then, folks, thank you so much for listening to the DM's Book Club. I'll be back next week with another episode, but until then, we'll say goodbye for now. Goodbye for now.
Bye.